What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media. It's time for the pregame show 1 hour before every single week, and we try and go live this week. We're starting the postgame shows as well. I couldn't do it last week because I was at the game, but this week's going to be super fun. Can't wait. So, if you're new to the stream, make sure to come back, after the stream ends. But we're going to be answering any questions, any pregame questions, and you guys know who we are. So I'm going to turn off the names because I always forget to turn those off. But yeah, super excited to, get into this game. This is, the home opener. Hopefully the Ravens offense can start off well. It's kind of a revenge game because of what happened last year on, I believe it was Thursday Night Football. I remember it was prime time. As the Dolphins kind of completely destroyed the Ravens offense by running that cover zero blitz, and Greg Roman could not adjust. The Ravens could not get the victory. But Joshua, how are you feeling? It's game day.
I mean, come on now. It's no better time than football season. And us playing against, Miami for the 18th time, and possibly us coming out for a win. And on top of that, they never beat us at home. I'm looking forward. I like our odds, man. So I'm definitely excited to see how we're gonna come out there, and hit the ground running. Hopefully, if we start the running game, hopefully King and Drake and Mike Davis can have a better performance. Because I know everybody's gonna be upset. JK's not active. We're being safe. They're sorry. I'm with it. I'm fine. I'm okay with it. So hopefully those two guys right there definitely show out and show up in our running game for today.
Yeah, and hopefully that extra week of practice with Lamar Jackson allows the Ravens to run that kind of read option RPO sort of offense with Kenny and Drake in, because last week it really wasn't there. But that's because, it was kind of his first time playing with Lamar Jackson ever.
Right. And before we get too deep into our Miami Dolphins and Ravens talk, hey, McCone, I like that shirt, man. Where you get that from?
Oh man, that's from the link in the bio. That is Shopify.com or trustthebake.com/Shopify, or it's in the bio. I got it. Don't worry. Yeah, I was excited. I was like, man, what should I wear today? And I was like, oh, look what I got right there. Boom. You rock that. Y'all don't want to see the hat that I'm wearing, though. The Orioles fans would not be very happy with me.
Uh-oh. Well, it'd be okay with me. I'm not, I support them every now and then, though, but yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this game is going to be so interesting. But there's a lot of games that I'm super excited for today. For some reason, I don't know why this is the game that they're showing. I look up, I live in Portland, so, it's always just a random collection of games that they show on CBS and Fox for the early games. And so I always have to look up the broadcasting map to see what game they're playing. And it's always interesting to see what they're broadcasting the most. Because whenever you're playing, in Baltimore, they're going to show the Ravens game, right?
Right.
The game that they are showing the most this week, almost the entire country is getting it, is Patriots-Steelers. Two horrible offenses. Yeah. And that is what everyone is being forced to watch on CBS.
I think Najee playing too. Yeah.
Najee's playing.
Yeah.
Najee is the only good offensive player playing in this game. Or only pretty good. I like Deontay Johnson and Claypool, but he's the only one where it's like, yeah, they're elite.
Yeah.
Everyone else is bad. Or there's a couple of good players.
I guess they feel like it's going because it may possibly be a defensive battle. I mean, New England they have a pretty solid defense, and that Devin Bush, Minka Fitzpatrick, they're a force to be reckoned with. So I mean, I guess we can give them their respect when it's due sometimes, but to hear that everybody's going to be, I thought it would be more Bucks, versus the Saints,
I think that's the NBC or the Fox game.
Okay.
If I'm remembering correctly, that's the Fox game that everyone's going to be seeing.
Yeah.
But even still, I don't know, the games that they could have chosen from.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, why isn't it Ravens Miami? At least those are two good teams.
Yeah.
I live in Buffalo. I will have to stream it then if they don't got on TV. New England, if it's going to be horrible. Yeah, exactly. Even if it's a good game, it's not going to be, because I'm a fan of great defensive games. I'm a fan of it. But this, I don't expect being a great defensive game. It's going to be a bad offensive game. I don't like that. I don't like when quarterbacks are just missing wide receivers. I don't like it when it's just easy drops. I like it when it's, wow, that was a great sack.
Mhm.
Wow, that was a great, defensive pressure that forced the incompletion. I'm not excited for that game very much. I think the Steelers are going to be able to get the win, but I mean, like, Jets Browns this morning, Commanders Lions may actually not be a bad game, even though they're two kind of bad teams. Could
The
be.
Lions was fighting against the Eagles. The Lions were battling. I give them that.
Thoughts about the inactives? Yeah, so if I'm remembering correctly, Brandon Stevens inactive, J.K. Dobbins, Ronnie Stanley, Nick Boyle, Travis Jones, and James Prochet.
Yeah.
I saw that list and I was excited because I was like, that means Marcus Peters and that means Marlon Humphrey are healthy. That is the most important thing in this matchup.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been cool to see JK. It would have been cool to see Travis Jones. But I was like, if Marlon and Marcus, or even if one of them can't go, that is a major disadvantage for the Ravens team because they need to cover Waddle and they need to cover Tyreek Hill.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, excuse me. I think the inactive that really surprises me is James Prochet. I mean, we've been talking about him. We've been wanting him to get out there on the field, and we haven't seen him since I don't know when. And it's like the longer he stays away, the more reps that Devin Duvernay takes from him. Not because I mean we always had that conversation. Who will be the number two? Who will be the slot guy? I mean they both can work. They both can work the outside. Both can work the slot by any means necessary. But I definitely wanted to see JP2 out there. Being able to and see that bond and relationship that him and Lamar Jackson was building over the offseason. I just wanted to see that translate over to the field, and I hope he still gets an opportunity for the years out. For us to really see, what they really been cooking.
Yeah, I mean, he's just been injured this whole offseason, and we're just kind of waiting to be able to see potentially can he get on the field and can he do something. I see Live in Legend is in the chat. How you doing? But Raleigh Webb's the call up, and Daryl Worley was actually signed to the 53-man squad. So Daryl Worley on the roster permanently, and then I'm trying to remember the correct terminology, the elevation, not activation, elevation from the practice squad was Raleigh Webb, which was interesting.
I like Raleigh though.
I think that's the best comp for James Prochet that we have. So I'm not mad about it, but I was kind of surprised. Let's see here. How you doing, Nos? Oh man, I'm so excited. I get to hear some commentary. Do you know who's on the broadcast? That's what I'm gonna look up. I'm gonna look up CBS broadcast.
We definitely need to get the Dubs today. As long as it's not Tony Romo, I'm good.
He normally does the 1 o'clock or the 4 o'clock games for the East Coast. Okay, here we go. Pulling up the broadcast map. Oh man, I don't even get. Oh wait, I'm so confused. I think I get. I don't know. CBS early games. Yeah, Patriots, Steelers, everywhere. Okay, I cannot find the duos. NFL announcers week 2. Here we go. I found it. Here we go. It's Kevin Harlan and Trent Green and Melanie Collins.
Trent Green, it's not bad.
Yeah, I like Kevin Harlan. So the Ravens do well with Kevin Harlan calling the game. I'll say that. I just don't want it to be Ian Eagle. I don't like Ian Eagle.
Yeah, that's like when we played the Commanders. I had to look up and see who was the commentators, and those guys were like based out of DC. I was like, well, okay, now it makes sense because they was going hard for the Commanders. I'm like, what's going on today?
Yeah, definitely. And I see Don C's in here. How you doing, Don C?
What's going on, Don? How you feeling today, man? What's on the menu for the day? Man, he was cooking up some stuff last week, man.
Oh yeah. See, Rashad Bateman, true number 1 wide receiver, says, "Let's go Ravens flock." I got Justin Tucker hitting a walk-off field goal, 27-24, getting a big W.
So you think it's going to be a tight one? I don't know if their defense make it tight, then yeah, for sure. But I mean, I feel like we're gonna have something. We're gonna have some things dialed up for them for sure. Make some adjustments properly.
Yeah, I think that like this game, I think the Ravens need to get off to a fast start because if they don't get off to a fast start, it's going to be a situation where they're going to know the Ravens are passing and they're going to be able to run that cover zero,
Yeah,
and it's just going to be a bad cycle of can they get past them. So they need to make sure that they start strong, and I would love for them to start with the ball. And not be conservative and really try and because when was the last time I legitimately don't know when was the last time the Ravens scored on a first drive like a touchdown? I feel like with Lamar, it's like
it's been a while.
Like they need to because that was 2019. It was first half. It was like they were unstoppable. Let's get back to the first drive touchdowns. It seems like it's 3 and out almost every first drive or 4-5 plays and done. They need to put together a good and that doesn't come down to execution. That comes down to execution of the playing card. That is pure game plan. The first drive is almost always scripted. If their first drives aren't working consistently, that is a major problem. So they need to make sure that they have a good game plan coming into this week and getting that thing done.
Very true, very true. I mean, we said it once, we said it before. Gregory Roman has some of the best game plans against not so good teams. Miami, they're definitely an up and coming team. They are fighting. What's his name? Mike McDaniels. He is his first year as a head coach, but also he comes from that Bill Belichick tree of coaching. So I mean,
he actually comes from the Shanahan tree.
Oh, even better. My bad.
I think he was I want to say he was the Rams offensive coordinator, but I could be completely wrong on that.
Okay.
I think he's Rams OC.
Okay.
Could be Niners OC, but I think Rams OC.
I mean, just to attest to that, when Miami beat us last year, they had a lot of creativity, even on defense. So I mean, you can't like you said, you can't be conservative with guys that does not mind going out there and taking a chance. Miami is a team I want to say that backs against the wall, but they definitely are a team that's not going to go down without a fight. So I mean, we really got to show that hey, we're here and we're here to stay. Especially for this year because it's a lot of narratives going on here at the Owens Mills facility.
Absolutely. Dawson says Niners OC. Okay. I mean, it's a unique system. It's a system that I love the Shanahan system. I think it's the best system in the NFL. But it's a system that is based on the run and it's based on motion, which is going to be that is something that the Ravens have struggled with is the motion, right? Because that is all linebackers. How can they shift across, especially when you're motioning to set up the run? How can Patrick Queen, and this is a huge game, I think, for Patrick Queen, even though it's set up as the corners versus wide receivers, it all starts at stopping that run when you're trying to beat the Shanahan system. If you can stop the run, then it forces, just a pure pass rather than the deadly play action and all that stuff. So we're going to see how they're able to do that. But I think Patrick Queen being able to be calm underneath all the stress of, hey, this guy's motioning and, watching the Niners and watching the Rams or the two prominent teams in the Shanahan system, also the Packers, you see Cooper Kupp motioning across. You see Deebo Samuel motioning across. We're going to see the Tyreek motions. We're going to see the Waddle motions. We're going to see the Gesicki motions. We're going to see a lot of motions. We're going to make sure that we can go out there and be comfortable and know how to defend it. We don't want to see any, because this has been the problem. Oh, I thought that was your man. 50-yard touchdowns.
Yeah. A lot of panicking, a lot of pointing fingers. It's like, all right, if we mess up, let's regroup. Let's get it on the next drive, man. We gotta get better. So I definitely feel what you're saying on that. It's so interesting, man, because we got a new defensive coordinator. New defensive coordinator he got a task on his hand today. Miami got a lot of weapons. Miami has a lot of weapons, and now Tua ain't scared. I'm not gonna say he ain't scared, but he is willing to throw the deep ball now. He has one of the fastest guys in the NFL. Well, arguably two of the fastest guys in the NFL on his team as wide receivers. I don't know who the running back is behind him, but I'm pretty sure he's pretty good. I know they cut the guy that put us in a chokehold last year, Lynn Bowden, because that was a fast dude. He was working out. But I mean, they got weapons out there, and Tua, you put him around enough weapons, we see what he's capable of. He can go out there and get the job done. He's a very serviceable QB, and it's really up to that front seven, like you said, man. And PQ, even when Chuck Clark gets in on certain packages, Josh Bonds, Malik, whatever they throw, we got to shut it down. We had to shut it down, and also I'm going to be looking into how Adafio Wade hopefully takes advantage of their second string right tackle, because their starting right tackle is not playing today, I don't believe. So hopefully we can have a mismatch opportunity with that.
Absolutely. And I see Living Legend, Death Tomato. Look at that. Appreciate it. So if you guys want to check it out, if you guys just want to see what we have, I'll put the link in here. It's trustthebank.myshopify.com. But you guys don't need to buy anything. That's not, what we're trying to go after. If you guys want to check something out, support the channel in that way, you guys are free to do so. But I see Owe was terrible last week. Owe didn't make any big plays last week, but at the same time, the defensive line made plays. That's what matters. Yeah. Because oftentimes when one guy's not making plays, it's because they're focusing on him. And their focus on him allows other people to make plays. And, I don't know 100%, how often he was double teamed or not, but it's clear that he's kind of the focus. And Mike McDonald, this is really annoying. Mike McDonald, the Ravens defensive coordinator, Mike McDaniel, the head coach. And okay, so T.O., appreciate. I haven't seen the all 22 yet, so I do appreciate you putting that in. This is a different scheme. This is a scheme where Mike McDonald wants to put him in coverage, and Mike McDonald wants to use him all over the field. And I think that is going to take time. And remember, he has not played a lot of football.
I'm about to say this is technically his fifth year actually playing organized football.
So, and switching completely defensive coordinators to something that's very different in Mike McDonald's system, it's going to take a little bit of time. It was playing in the rain, but, he's not a player where every game he's going to go out there and get you multiple sacks. He's a guy where he gets the right matchup and he's going to be able to dominate them. And we're working on developing him to a point where he is out there every single play, and able to beat that other guy. You want him to get to the TJ Watt level. You want him to get to the Khalil Mack level, but he's not there yet. He was drafted as a player where, hey, it's going to take some time, but he has enough athletic ability to be able to make mismatches even when he's still developing his, pass rush skill. So I don't know the weather right now, Joshua. How's it looking out in Baltimore? Is it rainy? Is it wet?
Man, it's sunny. It's sunny.
Awesome. Because I remember looking on Thursday and I was like, what's the weather going to be like? Because it's always good to know. Sunny game is very beneficial to the Ravens because they're all about the quick cuts.
Yeah.
Those are very tough to make in the rain.
Yeah, it's nice breeze, it's fall weather. Sun is up. We ready to get to it. But we always said this, if you want to make a mistake at 100 miles an hour instead of making a mistake at 50 miles per hour, because then you'll be able to see a 50-mile-an-hour mistake is more noticeable than a 100-mile-an-hour mistake. We talked about this about PQ last year. PQ, he would do things that would mess him up, but it would kind of negate to another defender kind of help him out. So if and obviously he made a lot of mistakes last week, the rest of the defensive line picked up. Like I said, I don't know if Justin Houston got tested after the game, but Justin Houston had a whole nother extra kick to him last week where he was actually chasing down Joe Flacco. Maybe because Joe Flacco is a more stand in the pocket type of guy, And Joe Flacco was not, as athletic as he used to be, but Justin Houston was going after it. So, we just got to see how today plays out. Even Michael Pierce was he got into a little bit of coverage situation and laid the shoulder. So, I mean, it's all about, what your teammate is doing to help you succeed. I know everybody's, it's not an individual sport. It's not like basketball where one guy can just take over. You do need your other teammates to come and help you out the best way they can possible.
Absolutely. And I think these players that the Dolphins have, they're so fast, right? You have arguably the 3 fastest players in the NFL on one offense. You got Hill, you got Waddle, and you have Mostert. Now, I think Hill and Waddle are very difficult to tackle. Mostert is tough to tackle because of his speed, but he's not crazy agile, crazy quick. Yeah. He's not like Tyreek trying to tackle, but he's got the speed to where you need to have the right angle. And if you don't have that angle, he is going to burn you and he's going to get a touchdown. You need to make sure that you are wrapping up against this team because you need to make sure that they don't have those big plays. You need the crowd of M&T Bank Stadium to really be a part of this game. And if they are, it's going to make it that much more difficult. Look at what happened Monday Night Football, Seahawks versus Broncos. Yeah. Russell Wilson played a great game, but he was very clear that he was, that whole offense was flustered by the crowd. Make the crowd impactful. Make it impactful. You have a young quarterback. He's not crazy young, but to his young, make him struggle because of the crowd. Make it, it's a new system. It's a new head coach. Make all of those things as difficult as possible. And how do you keep the crowd loud? You minimize the big plays and you get big plays of your own.
Yeah, I mean, we know, and here at M&T, we know how to get the bank rocking for sure. So, I mean, first home game of the season, I know everybody's excited. I know a lot of people from, the Ravens Flock TTB game might be making their way down there now, probably even already in their seats and things of that nature. I got a feeling that it's going to be a packed house today. I got a feeling it's going to be a packed house. And then you got people from Miami coming up too. So, I mean, we're going to see the Sprouts of the Fins out there. But, Ravens Flock, I know they're going to be out there, strong. I mean, they're not going to be counting Lamar's pockets. Now they're going to be looking at his weight, my boy can't never win.
Absolutely. And I see, I'm just going to call him RB because I don't want to read out Rashad Bateman, true number 1 wide receiver every time. RB says, TTB, could you see Isaiah Likely and Lamar start clicking this game? And could you see Andrews getting his touchdown earlier than he got last year? He got his first touchdown in the Colts game. Colts game, if people don't know, week 5. I could definitely see a touchdown this week. And I think I really hope that we get to see the clicking of the Ravens, young pass catcher, because we just need somebody, right? Whether it's Duvernay, whether it's Likely, we need somebody outside of Bateman and Andrews to step up this game and, become that, big time wide receiver or pass catcher for the Ravens. Because on those, cover zero blitzes, we need someone that can quickly get open, someone that can maybe sit in that zone. Isaiah Likely could absolutely be that guy. I think the benefit was Lamar was throwing to him. The chemistry wasn't there, but Lamar was throwing to him, which is, I think, a huge step up. Because there are some times, right, when you have young wide receivers where they don't even get targeted.
Yeah.
Lamar recognizes that he knows what he's doing. The chemistry just wasn't there. Lamar's throwing a little low, where like Mark Andrews a lot of times knows, hey, Lamar's going to throw this low. I'm going to go low because he's protecting me. Isaiah Likely's still working on that chemistry with him. They never played together in the preseason. So I think we're going to be able to see that. And I think it's going to work out really, really well. And so I definitely think we get to see that chemistry. I don't think it's going to be 9 catches, 100 yards. I think it could be 3 catches, 35 yards or something like that, where it's like, hey, but those 3 catches, they came on third down. They came against the blitz. They were in big situations. I think those are the biggest things that we need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, one thing for certain, 2 things for sure. Lamar Jackson, I'm going to say Lamar Likely. Isaiah Likely can be, a big part of this offense and a great chess piece too. You're going against blitzing defenses like the Miami Dolphins that we're facing today. It just, it does take time. preseason action versus live game action is, it's very different. So I mean, when Lamar sees likely got to take advantage of it, and I do feel like between Rashad and Andrews, there's still going to be two guys that's going to be highly covered. So I feel like it might be a day where we see Isaiah Likely and Devin Duvernay, really take off. Even Demarcus Robinson, because everybody's saying, Mark Andrews, money making Mark is arguably the best tight end in the league. So you know what? We're going to take Lamar's number one weapon from him. Let's take the over the top weapon with Rashad Bateman. So what's next? Give it to the guys that's not really known or don't have the respect that these two guys do, and you just gotta take advantage of it. So I mean, when Isaiah sees his number being called, he gotta make the best out of what he has to make the best out of everything when it's his time and his opportunity.
Yeah, I think we hope that we can see that, and we're gonna find out, really quickly into this game what the Ravens' offensive game plan is, because who is out there in those situations? Who is Lamar targeting? And we saw it last week early, Joshua. The Patrick Ricard 1 yard pass on 2nd and 10 and 1st and 10. Why is that part of the offense? 2nd and 1, go for it. 2nd and 3, go for it. Because, you can give it to Project Pat and he can get you a couple extra yards. He can get you that first down. But there is no reason to waste a play on 2nd down or 1st down to throw it to your fullback, because that is the first read. It reminds me of, legendary Super Bowl run from the Raiders, or not from the Raiders, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers under John Gruden. What was his most famous play? It was Spider 2Y banana, right? It was hard play action, roll out to the side. You got the fullback in the flats. You have then the flood concept, with a post route on the right side of the field, and you hit that fullback in the flats. That was the play design. It was you give it to Mike Allstott. You hit him.
I was about to say Mike Allstott was on that team.
Yes.
Mike Allstott was a different type of specimen of fullback. Patrick Ricard is no Mike Allstott, nor let's take it a step further. He's no Patrick. Was it Patrick Hillis out of Cleveland?
Oh, Peyton Hillis.
Peyton Hillis. There we go.
He's no Juiceman.
He's definitely not Juiceman. He's definitely not Juiceman.
And that's like the pass catchers. Those are the guys that are meant to run. Patrick Ricard is a better blocker than those players, and that is why he's out there on the field. If they want to do it, throw Likely in at the fullback spot or something like that, where it's like, hey, at least it's somebody with good ability after the catch. But even then, don't have a designed check down on 1st and 10.
I agree.
And it's not a check down 4 yards across the field. Have a 4-yard check down. I love that. It is hitting him behind the line of scrimmage, running towards the sideline to a player that runs probably a 4.9 40-yard dash with no wiggle. He can hit you and fall forward, but it's not it. Rory, 100%.
Yeah.
It's so bad. We got Kimberly in here. How you doing, Kimberly? Welcome into the stream. Let's see here. Oh, man. Only half an hour left to go. We're so close. Let's see. I don't think so. I think the Ravens know. Likely isn't in there on running situations most of the time. And if he is, he's out wide receiver. Like, that's why they have Josh Oliver on the roster, is because he comes in those big running situations. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I rarely see Likely out there on like big running situations. It's a situation where it's like, hey, when we're passing, throw him out there. If we're running, throw out Josh Oliver.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna just put it out there. Blocking, that's something that could be taught. He's always just been a pass catching guy, throughout his whole career. So I mean, he does make the initial first contact. You just gotta learn how to let go. Once you make that initial contact, just push him away. Don't hold him. Let him go. So I mean, certain things can be taught over time. But I definitely wouldn't. I don't think I don't think this year John is going to be having anyone in the doghouse, because even when Travis Jones, yes, he put a lick on Trace McSorley, even though that was a preseason game. He knows, like, hey, I'm gonna need this guy during the regular season. Let me just talk to you. Just get it right. Let's keep it moving. So I feel like it's going to be one of those situations if Isaiah Likely ever gets like a penalty or anything of that nature again.
I won't rest till I see 45-10 over the Dolphins.
It could
in a while.
It could happen. It just, it depends on the offensive game plan that Gregory Roman calls, and also how our defense comes out and respond to the Miami Dolphins offense. But I feel like we definitely could put up the points. We just got to come out there swinging.
Yeah, and I see Benjamin says, who scores the right? Well, the first touchdown was Duvernay, but I'm thinking in terms of the home games. Who scores the first touchdown tonight, Joshua? For the Ravens.
I got Lamar. On a broken down pass play. He just says, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go up the field. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna make something happen and just bust it. Maybe like for a 30-yard touchdown run. Since Lamar didn't run enough for us to, even though we won last week, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, Lamar does an undesigned running touchdown to get things started.
I'm thinking it's going to be Kenyon Drake. I think him playing against his former team, I think he's going to be more used in the read option game. I think he's going to be in there, maybe not at the goal line. I think that's when they bring in, the Mike Davis. But I think, the 5-yard line, maybe a Lamar Jackson check down. I think Kenyon Drake's able to get it for the first score.
I like that. I mean, I definitely can see us moving down on field methodically. I like that.
Do we get 100 yards rushing today? Ooh.
Out of the run game? I'm gonna say no. But I was going to take it a step further. Maybe if Marcus Peters is out there today, our first touchdown was a pick 6 to the crib.
The Ravens, it seems like every game recently, even last year, like the offense doesn't get started until the defense makes a play. I mean, exactly. The momentum, they need that momentum. And so this last week it was Marcus Williams. He got that interception, Ravens scored, and that kind of gave him a little bit of juice. But if we get a pick 6, which we haven't had a pick 6 since Chuck Clark had a pick 6 against the Rams, I want to say, but that wasn't with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. Mm-hmm. When was the last pick 6 with Lamar at quarterback? I don't even know if it happened last year.
No, I didn't. Because remember, it was like the worst team with turnovers.
Yeah, we were not getting turnovers. We didn't have Marcus Peters.
Yeah.
The only pick 6 I think we had last year was Chuck Clark.
Yeah. Because for some reason he was playing like a man possessed in coverage against the Rams.
Yeah, and he had 2 picks and one was a pick 6, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 picks, 1 to the crib. Like, I mean, we should have been seeing that all season. But hey, I'm not going to start nothing. I ain't going to start nothing.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm waiting to see the health. I haven't seen anything on the health of Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully we can see something. I haven't seen any. I don't think they're very banged up or anything like that, but I see. Someone put Giro in the doghouse and let someone else call the plays. I wish. Giro is the gatekeeper to the doghouse. That's the issue.
Facts.
I don't think he loses his job to Cleveland. I think Cleveland is the right guard, the backup right guard. And I think next year he will be the starting right guard. I don't see him taking over as the starting left guard for the Ravens.
Who, when Zeitler?
When Zeitler's gone, I think Cleveland steps in.
I mean, that would be smart, honestly.
Tua's going down, Lisa. I'm marking him. I'm marking him right now.
Okay. Miles Gaskin's not playing. Hunter Long not playing. Channing Tyndall. He's not playing.
Ben Powers isn't horrible. Ben Powers isn't amazing. He's an offensive starter. He's a starting offensive lineman. Like that's about it. That's all that you can ask for him. He's not a Pro Bowler, but he's not Alejandro Villanueva. He's not Tyree Phillips at tackle.
Yeah.
He's not Matt Skura at center.
How do you feel about Patrick McCarry today?
I think he's going to do very well. I love McCarry at tackle. I think that's his best position is tackle. So I have no problems with it. I think he's going to do really well. Do we give up 3 or more sacks? I'm going to say we may give up 3. I don't think we give up more than 3 because the thing is with the Ravens is like the Dolphins are going to be blitzing a ton, so it's going to give them the opportunities to get sacks.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't get a lot of sacks on Mac Jones. I want to say they only got about 3 sacks on Mac Jones. And Mac Jones is not mobile whatsoever. So hopefully they get less than 3. That's the hope. If they get 1 or 2, I think the Ravens can convincingly win this game. But if they are having a good game and they're able to blitz and they're able to get those sacks, that's when it's going to be a big struggle for the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely give them 3 because I mean that is a young defense. You know, they do got a good defense coordinator and good scheme. They got balls on that side of the ball, so I'm not going to take away from them. And I do hope our offensive line comes up and shows out and protects Lamar Jackson to the best of their ability. And like I said, have plays dialed up and be ready for them to blitz. Just expect the unexpected. Honestly.
100%. You got to make sure that as a team, you are the ones that are running it, right? You don't want to let the defense control what you're doing on offense. You want to make sure that you're dictating and they're reacting. Last year against the Dolphins were dictating and the Ravens were reacting. We need to make it the other way around. We need to make them go, oh, no, we can't blitz here. Not, oh, yeah, we're going to blitz here. Doesn't matter what you're doing. And then the Ravens go, oh, no, we can't run this play. You got to make it so you are the one controlling how everything is going. Which D-line gets the most sacks this game? I think it's going to be the Ravens because I think a lot of the Dolphins sacks are going to, if they get a lot of sacks, it's going to come from, the linebackers. It's going to come from the corners, the safeties, the guys that are blitzing. But for the Ravens, Joshua, who leads the Ravens in sacks today, if there is a leader?
I gotta go with the Yoda. The defensive line. I'm gonna go with Justin Houston. Just for the simple fact that, like I said, man, Odafe Way, he has a possible mismatch against that second string right tackle. I mean, if he creates enough disruption for the rest of the guys to get up the field, like Justin Houston, Calais, Michael Pierce, Justin Matabike, Broderick. I mean, we definitely can see Justin Houston having another big game, possibly maybe a 2-3 sack type of game.
I'm gonna go with Odafe.
Okay.
Because I think there's going to be because I think he's the guy that runs down Tua. Mm-hmm. I think he gets like 1.5 sacks or something like that, where maybe the half sack is he beat the offensive lineman. And he's able to collapse in with Justin Houston. But I think there's, a play where Tua rolls out to his left and Odafe is able to hawk him down. Because I don't see Houston hawking him down. I don't see Calais hawking him down. It's not Joe anymore. Tua's got a little bit more speed than Joe. Yeah. Not too much speed. He's not, he's not Lamar or Jalen Hurts or something like that. But he can at least roll out. So I think Houston or Odafe is the guy that's going to be able to at least chase that down a little bit.
I mean, I definitely like that. I mean, didn't he run down Patrick?
He did run down Patrick Mahomes. And he forced an interception. I don't think he got the sack. I remember he forced an interception on a chase down. He got a sack. He also got the strip on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Yeah. That was a great game for me.
He was working.
Let's see here. LJ and Andrews will be beasts in the home opener. I think so. I think now they get to, once the crowd settled down in New York, they really started to dominate. So, over under 3 interceptions this year. Give me the over. Give me the over. I believe in Market and Marlon.
You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm rocking with him because Marlo got a little chip on his shoulder, especially with Marcus Peters, saying what he said to him. So I know he's determined to try to, get some interceptions. And we all love, to see our one of our leaders from secondary make something happen as well.
100%. And last week it felt like they weren't targeting Marlon. Like it felt like Marlon played a really good game against some good young wide receivers. They're not great wide receivers currently in the NFL, but they are like good young players, like Elijah Moore and company. So Marlon played very well. Now he's going up against much more difficult wide receivers and, arguably a top 5 wide receiver. I think he's top 5 in Tyreek Hill and I think a top 3 young wide receiver last year. So I think Waddle's trying to take that next step in his game, and we're going to see who Marlon's matching up against. And I think it'll be like kind of a hybrid. I don't think it'll be a following. I think some plays it'll be Marcus Peters on Tyreek, and I think some plays it'll be Marlon because they've both matched up against him plenty of times. So it's a better wide receiver duo than Tyreek and Mecole Hardman. I'll say that. So
yeah.
Just got to keep Waddle underneath. If you keep Waddle underneath, you can get him into a Patrick Queen hit. You can get him into all these other things. You don't want Waddle going 25 yards down the field because then if he's got a step on you, he's just going to turn up the field. But if he's, 5 yards underneath, turning up the field is turning into the linebackers, turning into the safeties. Who on offense do we have that are rookies?
I was about to say, we don't got no more
It's
rookies.
like Isaiah Likely, I think, maybe the only one.
Yeah.
Falili's the backup offensive tackle, so you could say him. So I think it's likely on offense, unless we see Gaither. Or no, sorry, Raleigh Webb, not Bailey Gaither. Sorry, wrong wide receiver. Oh, Tyler Linderbaum. That's right. I think it's Tyler.
Oh, yeah. Did you? I don't know if you saw it last week. He did go down a couple times.
He did go down a couple times, but I also saw he was throwing guys like 20 yards down the field into the sideline.
Love to see it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Tyler. I was like trying to remember. I was like, do we have any rookies? Of course, our first round pick. Defensive side of the ball. Give me Pepe. I wanted to say Kyle Hamilton so bad, but I was like, man, Pepe's going to be our cornerback 3 today.
Yeah.
Because, maybe Darryl Worley plays a little bit, but it's Marlon, it's Marcus. Brandon Stevens is out, and Kyle Fuller's out for the year. So Pepe Williams is going to be playing in this game, and there may be plays where he's matched up against Jalen Waddle. Hopefully there's not plays where he's matched up against Tyreek Hill, but if there is, hopefully it's zone coverage, and he's able to, do something. But he's a guy that can jump the pass. He's a guy that plays very similar to Marcus Peters. So I would love to see Pepe Williams play a good game today. I think that would be huge for the Ravens defense. But I think this is a game where all the rookies on defense, we need to see them play well.
Yeah, because I think Jalen got in a little bit too last week.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of Jalen Armour-Davis. He was always standing. My favorite part about Jalen Armour-Davis, he was always standing right on the sideline. Mm-hmm. He was always like looking like he is ready to be in. Because a lot of times you get the young guys and they're chilling on the bench, right? They're sitting down, they're drinking their Gatorade because they're like, oh, I'm not getting in. He was like, come on, coach, you got to put me in here. You got to get me in.
Yeah. So I definitely would definitely say Pepe Williams as well. We saw what he can do in the preseason. I'm not going to say I would love to see him lined up against the Cheetah, but I definitely, I would like to see that matchup with him and Jalen Waddle just for him to get that real NFL experience, to see what it is to play against, real NFL starting wide receivers, and just see how he matches up his game and what adjustments, he plans on making, to make himself a better corner. So I definitely feel like, he can be another chess piece on the defensive side for our secondary for years to come. Because he has great IQ, like you say. He jumps routes, and he plays physical. And he doesn't mind at 5'10", 5'11", getting down and dirty, making plays. So I mean, I love the energy and that he brings. So I hopefully, with him playing, that can be another boost and jolt to our defense. And offense, I would definitely say Tyler Linderbaum. Tyler Linderbaum is another guy we have to keep our eyes on, because at the end of the day, you have arguably the first most important job, which is read the defense, point out who's a potential blitzer, keeping guys calm, and also making sure that you're hiking the ball to your quarterback and keeping him protected as well. And getting up to the next level and helping out your teammates if if you see them distressed or need extra help with blocking the guy. So I definitely feel like Tyler did do well week one. I hope he continues to progress, and him and Lamar can continue building their relationship and trust.
Definitely. And I see Rory Smith says, do you guys ever get into betting? I bet a little bit. I'm trying underdog fantasy this week. I think my first time doing it was Thursday. So I'm doing that, and I have a FanDuel lineup that I made. If you want to hear it, Rory, I can go through it. I may actually change something really quickly. So thank you for bringing that up. I want to see how much is, dang it, Jamal Williams. I want to add in Jamal Williams to my team. Never mind. Whatever. So my team, I'll go over for you, Rory. Here you go. I don't know if you can see this. So my team is Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to rock with Burrow. He's playing against the Cowboys. That Cowboys defense can allow a lot of yards. Burrow, CMC, Darrell Henderson, Jamar Chase, Curtis Samuel, Jerry Jeudy, Dalton Schultz, Allen Robinson, and the 49ers defense. Unfortunately, no Ravens. But I don't like any of the Ravens in FanDuel because unless it's Lamar or Mark Andrews, just because typically when the Ravens dominate, it's like 5 different guys played really well. FanDuel is like you need one guy to put up 180 yards and 2 touchdowns, which is not the Ravens style of players outside of Lamar and Mark Andrews. So that's why I'm rocking with Burrow and Chase, because I think Chase could have 203 touchdowns today. I would not be surprised.
I mean, if Trayvon Diggs is lined up on Jamar Chase, we already seen how that matchup has been in college. So, hey.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Who do you think is going to take on? I read this as Mark Ingram, because Mark Ingram's the starting running back for the Saints today. Melvin Ingram playing for the Dolphins. Whatever tackle's playing on that side, I mean, he's going to be switching around. We're going to see Makari on him. We're going to see some Morgan Moses on him. Melvin Ingram is not the same player that he used to be. He's so good, don't get me wrong, but he's not playing next to Joey Bosa anymore. He is the guy to focus on. And then Jalen Phillips, who they drafted last year in the first round, who both of us talked about. We liked him, coming out of the draft, but he was going to go. Just going to fix. There we go. He's going to be the other guy. So we're going to see him one-on-one, I think, a lot. And we're going to hope that he's not dominating.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, if I'm Melvin Ingram, veteran defensive end, I'm going to stay on the side of the guy that's on Patrick McCarthy. If I feel like, I still have a little bit of juice, if I still feel like I got the technique to beat this undersized tackle, then yeah, I'm gonna stay on that side. So I definitely feel like, if I'm Melvin Ingram, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I might just stay on Patrick McCarthy all day and just try my luck to see what I can get out of that matchup.
Absolutely. All right, Joshua. We got about 10 minutes till this game starts. I think it's time for the best segment, the bold predictions.
Whoo!
All right, everybody. Let us know your bold predictions in the chat as well, because we love to see those. But let's start on offense. Bold prediction.
I got 300 yards, 4 touchdowns out of Lamar Jackson. I got 2 going to Rashad. I got 1 going to Isaiah. I got 1 going to money-making Mark.
Okay. I like it. I'm going to go and say we get 100 rushing out of Lamar.
Okay.
I think we get 1 touchdown. And yes, I did get week 2's score right last year because week 2 was against the Chiefs. So I got Lamar for 100, 2 touchdowns rushing. And then I got us getting another 50-plus yard touchdown passing. I see us getting another deep ball.
I definitely think it's going to happen. We back at the bank.
And I think this one's going to be Devin Duvernay. I think Duvernay is the one that gets behind the defense today.
In the scene? Or
actually, DeMarcus. DeMarcus Robinson gets the opening day touchdown.
Do we start the campaign for DeMarcus Robinson to set the record today?
He needs 5 touchdowns to break the record. He could tie it with 4, but I think that, man, now I got to guess the score. Ravens. 37. Dolphins 24.
You know what? I'm gonna say 34-17 Ravens way. I feel like we're gonna get the points. I feel like we're gonna put them up. I feel like Miami is going. They're gonna get down the field. They're gonna make some touchdowns. I'm not gonna take away from this team. But once we get some pieces back around November, I do see us shutting out some teams.
Definitely. Now let's get to the defensive side of the ball. Bold predictions on the defense. I'll start off.
Go ahead.
We get a Patrick Queen touchdown.
How we get the ball though? How we getting the ball?
I'm thinking it could be a strip sack. Okay. PQ picks it up, but it could be a pick 6 as well. I'm just gonna stick with the PQ defensive touchdown today.
I got us defensively as a whole getting 5 turnovers, 2 touchdowns out of it. So I can see 3 picks, 2 forced fumbles, one of those picks being to the crib, and one of those forced fumbles being picked up and sent to the house. I feel like we're gonna have a party in the end zone today. It's gonna be it has to be a collective game for us to beat this Miami Dolphins.
Or your sexy picks on offense and defense, guys. I mean, we all know Big Sexy's the sexiest man on the offense, but I think you're talking about in terms of like flashy players. I think DeMarcus has his big game. So DeMarcus on offense and defense. PQ. I love PQ this year. I'm all in. Last couple of years, I've not been all in. I've been like, no, we got to give him time. We got to give him time. We got to give him time. This is the year where I'm like, hey, let's get it going. This is the Pro Bowl year for Patrick Queen.
I like that. Offense, I know you feel me. I know I said start the campaign for DeMarcus, but I feel like Rashad Bateman still is one to show that, like, yo, I'm that guy. Like, I think I gotta go with Rashad Bateman. I feel like Rashad is definitely gonna try to eat. And my sexy pick on defense, I feel like it's Kyle Hamilton. He's another one, that just feel like, hey, I got a chip, not a chip on his shoulder, but like, yo, Ravens, I'm in this Ravens defense. I'm creating a legacy.
Spooky J doesn't know about Big Sexy, man.
You don't know about Big Sexy, my guy? What's his jersey number? Is it 66?
Oh, 66. Right to Cleveland. Big Sexy.
Man, you gotta stay in tune, brother. You gotta stay in tune. But definitely, I would definitely no defense, Kyle Hamilton. No, he doesn't have a chip on his shoulder, but he still want to prove to the NFL and everyone else, like, hey, the Ravens did pick me at 14 for a reason. I'm gonna show y'all exactly why. And I feel like he's gonna make himself known and make his mark today. Especially playing against this this fast, speedy Miami Dolphins offense.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we've got only 5 minutes till kickoff, so I think this is kind of the wrap up. And I see Watch Fitz came in late. How you doing, Watch Fitz? Shout out to you.
Hold on, my guy.
But game starts in 5 minutes. We will be live after this game. We will be talking Ravens football, so don't worry. Make sure to come to the stream after the game. Super excited for that one. The first post-game stream of the year. So thank you, everybody, for coming through. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. We'll see all of you again in a few hours, hopefully with a 2-0 record.